Hi viewers. So it's an introduction to loops in programming. Like what are loops? So there is a simple example we can go through. Like first of all, if we take an example of a roundabout, uh, and you are driving a car and you takes turn and on the roundabout, and you just go through one and then second time, then third time, then fourth time. So you are in a loop. So this is the simplest real life example. So if we go, so first of all, I'll not be going just with the simple examples. I'll be technically showing you that how we can put the statements in the programming, and then to implement this loop. So loop is just set of instructions. First, we set the initial state condition on which it will start, and then a condition which should be met to stop. Otherwise, it will remain in the loop. So there is a uh, very simple example which states that. Uh, So first of all, if we talk about what is loop, so loop is a set of instructions that a computer repeats over and over again until a condition is met, which is what I have already said. Instead of writing the same line of code 100 times, for example, you want to print, um, let's say, next gen, or start, or like to call someone's name, or a list of students which are in a class like 30, and you don't have to see out or print like any name, Matthew, or John, or whatsoever. You just will pass a loop, and then you will pass array of students which got their name in that loop assigned, and then the loop will iterate over the array, and then it will print out those things. Simple. So, and you tell the computer do this again and again until I say stop. So I say stop is just the condition which should be met. For example, if we take an example of an array is in the length of like 50 or 30 or something whatsoever, we have the number in that array, then it will, when the array gets null, or what the condition we have put in the loop, like let's say we have set the condition I um, is less than or equal to the length of the array of students. So it will stop at the last student in that array, because we have set the condition in that regard. So for the loop, is like there is an also other example, like brushing every tooth. You repeat the same brushing motion for each tooth until every tooth is done. That's a loop. So yeah, we have like standard 32 teeth, right? We have 32 teeth. So every tooth needs cleaning. We do first and second, then third, then fourth, and five, six, seven, and so on till 32. So in that way, we are going through the loop for every tooth. So the process is same, while the tooth is different every time. The process is same. The instructions are same, because we want to clean the tooth every single instance of time. So next, what why do we need loops? I have given a lot of examples, like comparing print the numbers 1 to 5 without and with a loop. So that's a comparison. I have gone through you with the examples, with the real life examples, and with the technical examples. That's the thing we can go with, like for the comparison. So without a loop, without a loop is like same as I quoted the examples for students. Print 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then if we want to print in a loop, we will just use two statements. For example, if you want to count, even it's written here, if you want to count till 1,000 numbers, then what? We will write 1,000 lines of codes or print for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, we will just set the range here from 1 to 10,000, and then two lines will work for even 5 million as well, it says here. So loop saves time, reduce mistakes, and make code easy to change. Like for example, if I don't wanna go with 1 to directly 5,000, but I want to start from 5,000 to 10,000. So then in that case, I have to remove that one and rewrite the other thing. But in this case, for a loop, I'll just put 5,000 here in the initial, and I'll replace this one and write 5,000, and I'll replace 6 with 10,000. That's a quite you know good thing. We can go with this, which will uh, save us more and more and more of a time and help our life to get easy. So now every loop has three parts. As I told you, that we first put the condition, and then the stopping point where it needs to stop. And the main thing is, so first of all, let's go with the slides first, so I don't miss anything. So starting point, where the counting or process begins. So let's say, um, if we take a variable which named as int start. So int start, it's set as 1, which is a starting point for a loop. Or if we are not taking any variable, or we are just using it as an example here for the number in range 1 6, so this is the starting point. And for the condition, a test condition before each part, repeat, keep going while it's true. So if we talk about uh, the condition, so here we cannot see any condition, but so it's in Python. But this also state the condition itself, because 1 and comma 6, this is giving it's a range that it should not exceed this statement, this number. Like the statement, it's itself a condition. This statement itself a condition which is putting a start time and ending endpoint. So let's say, uh, if this condition this condition is of 1,000, then it will stop at 1,000, not at 6. This is a condition which should be met, that one, the loop is in range of 6. So this is a Python function which is already, this range is a Python function which is already built in function which is checking in the back end that it should not be exceed the 6 digit as per the ending point. For example, like the structure is, the loop starts, this is the starting point. If it's in a variable, then it's another case, but it's hard coded there, then it's always will be the 1. The loop starts in the scope, then it prints out 1, and then it goes and check in the range that 1 is in the range, then yes. And then it so first of all, sorry, it will increment it, it will get becomes 2, and then in the range function it will check that 2 is still less than 6, yes. It will just print it out, make an increment, it will become, the number will become 3, and then it will the range will again check there is still 3 is less than 6, yes. This will print out 3, and then go on with 4, and then 5, and then when it reaches 6, it will again check it is still less than 6, no, it's now equal. So the loops will break, and then it will not again goes. Same way, start at 1 while number is less than 5, print it, then add 1, then sentence will has all three parts. Action plus update. The task to repeat the next steps that moves it closer to stopping. So it's action plus update as well. It's action and then update the number, the increment in the range so that it can check whether it's still validating the condition or complying the agreement, and then it goes on. If it doesn't, then it stops. So that's a really simple way we can explain the loops. Two common type of loops: for loop and while loop. For loop, so these both are for Python, while we have a do while and others in C++ and C sharp. So for loop in Python, we have the syntax: for I is the variable in range 5. So I is the variable which will get incremented again and again and again in the range of 5. We haven't started with anything, so it's um, from 0. It will be starting from 0 as default. While in while loop so that's funny. While in while loop, we have to set count, because there is no built-in function for it. Count is equal to 0. We are setting up count to a variable. We have to initialize it. So we have initialized it, and then while count is less than 5. So while count is a variable which should be less than 5, and count plus is equal to 1. So we can also write it count is equal to count plus 1, which is also same. So it will check that, so it will start the loop. It's 0 is less than 5, yes. It will increment it. It will get 1, and then it will check 1 less than 5, yes. 2 less than 5, yes. 3, 4, 5 is less than 5, no, just go out. So that's the thing. That's the comparison is that we have to initialize a variable in the while loop, while in not the for loop. How a loop actually runs: start count is equal to 1, check again. Like as I said, it starts. If it's hard coded, it's just starts. And um, even it's not hard coded or hard coded, in both conditions it checks. Like for example, it start at 5, sorry 6, and it will check 6 less than equal to 5. No, it will get breaks and loops ends. But if it's 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, then it checks. It will run the condition which is in the scope of the loop, and then it will print out the count or whatsoever we have printed, and then it will update the count, and then again it will check the condition. So it's still in the loop until the condition is met, and whenever condition gets false, then loops ends. Simple. The infinite loop. Sometimes no, many times the programmers, the initial stage of programmers, even the senior programmers or the mid-level programmers, they can forget the increment condition in the loop, in the while loops. If they are Python developers, they are used to it. They don't use the increment in the loop, because they are using for each or for loop. So that's the mistake they do. Like here we can see the count is equal to 0 while count less than 5, print it. But let's say condition start 0, 0 less than 5, yes, print count which is 0. Okay, they forgot this line, and then the program will uh, be in the loop, because it's not incrementing and the condition is still true, which is saying 0 is less than 5. Yes, true, true. So it will start printing out 0 in infinite time. So that's the issue. we can have with the loops. So recap: loop repeats instruction until a condition says stop. So we are in the loop until a condition is met. We cannot go out of the loop if we haven't you know set a condition, or we are not updating some actions which should be done in some different formats of the loop or syntaxes we are using, like while. So in for that's not the same, but in the while it's same. Every loop needs a start, a condition, and an update. So every loop should be um, in the range, or there should be a starting point which should be initialized. There can be syntax errors, but there is this generic structure that starting point should be there so that it can start. Otherwise it's just a statement which will never get execute in terms of well, that's not possible. But let's say a condition doesn't uh, or will not get at that point that it will trigger that loop. For example, we have students, or sorry, we so yeah, let's go with this. We have a class of 30 students, and we start a loop from zero, while we have to set an other example, uh, or we can just go with this so that we can just remove that part. And for example, so let's go with this example, that if a condition doesn't met in any case, let's say if we hard code a loop from 0 to 30, and there can be students which are from maybe 31, maybe 32, 33, 34. So in that way we have to set according to the condition, but there can be number of students, like not static but dynamic. uh, Static and dynamic means there they cannot be just fixed, but they can be more. So and the number uh, we cannot determine, because it can change in any circumstances. So in that condition we have to make the code dynamic so that the loop conditions met, and then updates should be done as per the programming instructions, which should be followed for while and for and do while, or whatever we're going to use. So use a for loop when you know the number of repeats. Yeah, so that can be the case, but if we don't load the repeats as well, we can do that as well. Even I just gave you the example for the students. We can make it dynamic, and we can use array and then its length, or list or queue or whatsoever, in terms of to get the length of the iteration we will gonna do in the loop. Use a while loop when you are repeating until something changes. Yeah, so in both, we can do the same thing. Even if we talk about the conditions, we can set it up. For example, if we wanna break something, for example, if a student named as John should get a message that pay the fee, because we have certain conditions we have set in the program. Then we can put a condition if, for example, that if the name is John, then um, send a message that he should pay his fee ASAP. So that can be a thing. Always double check the update step to avoid infinite loop. As I said, then we have to follow the formats. In while loop we must use the increment part, because we have to update the variable so that it can um, you know uh, met a condition and even iterate to other items and then get the thing done. So that's all uh, from from this lecture, which is loop. Thank you so much. We will catch up in the next video. Thank you. And please do let me know if I am wrong in anything. I'll update myself. I'll update this lecture, update my slides, and update my course so that anybody doesn't get any wrong or falsy information. So yeah, that's it. Thank you so much. Bye.